What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bacon Bits podcast. And I like what you did to the recording studio, man.
Oh, thank you. It's a little bit more 3D, and I got a robot and a Godzilla in here. It doesn't look that different. It looks practically the same.
Yeah. You got the manga wall behind us. I like that. But hey, dude, I like what's going on. This is still a thing, and we're still watching Gintama, which is one thing I'm really happy about. And I hope everyone at home is staying home and healthy and safe and all that. I mean, we're kind of social distancing right now.
Yeah, no. We're not. Look at us. Like, we're sitting right next to each other.
That's because we know we're healthy. We've been doing all the right things.
But yeah, for real though, we decided to have this podcast, I guess, look at us while we're playing Animal Crossing, because a lot of us have been playing Animal Crossing for the past month due to COVID-19 and social distancing. I hope you guys are social distancing. Please continue to do so. But we as a group have not really been getting together for the obvious reason. And so Bacon and I decided, hey, why not do our podcast still, but let's just do it through Animal Crossing.
And this also opens up maybe like more possibilities of having more people on, kind of deal. Is what I'm thinking. Like if somehow we get to watch the Digimon movie, then we'll be able to get two of our other friends on here. But I don't know
this way.
And do it this way. I wouldn't be against it. It's just we'd have to teach them how to record and stuff like that, which they can figure out. But yeah, man, going to Gintama, man. At least we're continuing that on. That's honestly the only anime I've been watching right now. I've been pretty slow to pick up everything else, which I could talk about at the end of this.
Dude, I've been having a hard time. I've been playing Final Fantasy and going to work. I still have to go to work. I'm an essential worker, so I still have to go to work. But I managed to keep watching Gintama in the meantime. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about episodes 11 to 32.
Yes, 11 to 32. I can't remember, of course, like everything so far, but because it's still at this point still kind of the episodic comedy that we're going for. But the same shticks that are going on, especially all the other ones that seem to come in, are still like entertaining to me. Like the funniest thing I love hearing so far is the Shinsengumi like captain being called a gorilla. Every time they talk about gorilla, it's him. I like that. Yeah. And then there's that just wandering dude with the shades who always has like a different job every time, who's like trying to get his life together.
What's his name? I think it's is it Hasegawa? What is it?
You would think
it's Hasegawa or something like that.
Right. You would think we'd memorize the names by now or have them.
I mean, it's a big cast.
It is, and the way they still incorporate all the, it doesn't really feel like anyone really is a side character, in my opinion, because they all have like enough depth to them where it's like, oh yeah, like they're gonna be here for a while, kind of deal.
Yeah, and it's like even like the recurring jokes. So we're well past the first impressions episodes, like the first 10 episodes, and now we're kind of diving into, I guess, really getting into it through the past introduction. So at first, I thought a lot of these like characters, like the prince with the animals, I thought he was like a one-time.
Oh yeah, the prince.
Maybe
too.
one or two time thing, but he comes back. Like a lot of the recurring gag characters, like they are recurring. They come back.
I keep cracking up every time they show him. Go yo. It's just like he's got his own theme song, and I'm like, get the hell out of here! Like every time you see me, just
it's so funny. And like he hasn't learned his lesson. Like every time he shows up, it's like maybe I should stop coming to Earth, but you keep coming back, and like you keep bringing these freakish like pets to Earth.
Oh, dude, the cockroach episode got me cringed up so hard.
My god!
I was like, stop! The giant cockroach. I was like, stop! Oh god!
Oh my god, I could not. And then like Gintoki had the queen, and then he just like good karma, let it go, and then
dude, that was the queen.
He was like, wait.
What are you doing?
I mean, MVP Sadaharu for killing the queen in the end.
Dude, Sadaharu, for me right now is like the cutest character. Then again, I still want to know what Elizabeth is. Like, what the heck?
I mean,
we still haven't gotten enough Elizabeth screen time, and like
we've gotten like the manly legs underneath. So
there's someone in
maybe
there.
Elizabeth is literally just a person, or it could be that thing and it just had legs. I don't know. We don't know. Will we ever find out? I'm not sure.
I think we
don't
will.
spoil it for us if that's a thing.
It has to be. It has to be a thing. Because I have a buddy of mine that has an Elizabeth keychain. And I'm like, okay, that's a statement. It means that character from your favorite anime is so, like, prolific that it must be, like, a key thing. So I'm assuming, like, maybe Elizabeth's, like, the strongest character ever. I don't know. so that's why, like, I'm really curious about that.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Quick reminder, Bacon. Move your character around or something a little bit so that you don't sleep out of this. We don't want that happening in the middle of our podcast.
Oh, you can actually fall asleep if you sit here too long?
No, your system.
Oh,
your
my
sleep
system.
mode's probably still on.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it times out after some time.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry, I need to adjust my seat. So,
anyway, back to the Gintama pod.
But well, one of the things that what was another funny thing? I think I'm just gonna grab random things I was thinking about. The story of Gintoki's wooden sword was really funny. like Lake Toya, what is this? And then everyone thought it was like the sword that could like chop moons in half and stuff like that. And it kind of made sense. I was like, okay, this dude's trying to look for the strongest sword. Obviously, it's not gonna be made of metal. It's someone that had just prolific technique, power, and all that stuff. And then the fact that he was ordering it off a TV show, just like same
just
thing.
The whole joke of it was great. Like I liked how they used like an actual like folklore. I forgot his exact name. It was like Benkei or something like that.
Yeah, the armed samurai Benkei.
The guy who like collects weapons. And I thought it was hilarious how they incorporated that. And I don't know, it just kind of seemed like, you know, it was great background for Gintoki's sword. Like I always wondered, you know, why was his sword so strong, and they kind of just gave a reason for it, but not really.
It's because we're still thinking that he's I mean, I'm under the assumption he's still like a badass character, even though he's using a wooden sword, and because there is a sword ban kind of deal.
To me, he's more of a Gintoki's been more of like a humorous Kenshin.
That's good. Yeah.
Where like he kind of has given up on killing people and switched to something else. So like Kenshin, you know, for those who don't know out there, if you don't know Kenshin, he has a reverse blade so that he could avoid actually killing people. In this case, Gintoki has a wooden sword, but of course Gintoki's a lot more laid back and humorous, and Kenshin's way more serious. But when it comes down to the wire, you know, they're down to get down to business.
Yeah, I think that's what I noticed so far about the characters, and we're starting to see more of like a bond between them. Obviously, like Gintoki being genuinely concerned when like they're in trouble, kind of deal.
Yeah,
and I really like that. I mean, even though it's only been 30 episodes, and then, you know, people could argue saying like, well, like, is this enough to really build a bond between characters? You know, and with the show still going, we're probably going to see that bond grow even stronger. But I like how this is kind of like the thing now. It's always these three together doing stuff, even though they're either making fun of each other and, like, you know, that's just their flow. They're fighting over Hot Pot, which was a great episode.
Yeah.
Like,
that was a great episode. So like my favorite group dynamic in anime is when, you know, the whole group is just a bunch of fucking idiots. Like I love, you know, in One Piece right, like everyone's just joking around, like, you know, you have Usopp, Chopper, and Luffy just goofing off.
Right.
In this case, it's Gintoki, Shinpachi, and Kagura just goofing off, and I just love that dynamic because, like, for most part, you know, they're all just shitting on each other and just having fun, and, you know, they're only really interested in their own self-interest for the most part, until, you know, something happens. But at the end of the day, you know, they're homies, and like the last episode that we watched, episode 32 or 31-32, you know, Gintoki had amnesia.
Right.
And you know, Shinpachi and Kagura, you know, mostly Kagura, are like, you know, I'm waiting for Gintoki to come back. You know, he'll be back. And I just really love that. Like, you know, for the most part, they're fucking idiots, but at the end of the day, they're ride or die homies, and, you know, they look out for each other. And I love that. And I'm such a sucker for those group ending shots. Like, at the end of the episode, when all three of them are walking away together. Like, I think in this one, they were walking away after Gintoki got his memory back, and then there was an episode where I think Kagura and Shinpachi were just like so like exhausted or something. I can't quite remember. What
that one was
what
like the terrorist bombing on like some sort of ship or something like that.
Yeah,
and everyone
like
was in
Gintoki
trouble.
was just and Gintoki was just carrying them, and like I just love that stuff. Like that, I'll eat that shit up, man. Like I love that group dynamic so much, and so that's why I've been enjoying Gintama a lot, because I just love this dynamic.
Yeah, it's always cool to see, because you know that it's a shonen, so there's probably gonna be a point where there's gonna be one of those life or death situations kind of deal. Like they're either not gonna abandon each other, they're gonna protect each other, or something like that. And the thing with Gintama is that I have this weird feeling of, I don't know if I should take these serious moments seriously, because it's Gintama and they might just like make it funny kind of deal, right?
Yeah,
like because I know they're gonna be like, oh, this is like craziness right now, but then out of nowhere they're just gonna like crack a joke or something like that, and like I'm always on the defensive when I'm watching. I'm just like, wait, this seems too good to be true. Like, I don't know, is this for real?
Well, I mean, I just like how like everything is really funny, and then they'll sneak in some like really serious backstory. Like we've gotten some of Gintoki's backstory sprinkled throughout all of this comedy, and I like it a lot. Like I like how for the most part you're expecting to laugh, and then all of a sudden you just get, oh, Gintoki was just, you know, after he left the war, he was in was it a graveyard just there, and then you know, they forgot the landlady's name, starts with an O, I think.
Oh yeah, the landlady.
But she found him, and you know, she took him in essentially. But after taking him in, all it is you need to pay me rent.
Right. Like you didn't know
that's the running gag.
You didn't know they had that relationship with each other, kind of deal, and it's just
I thought he was just some stranger, but you know, she really cares for him. Like, and it's very apparent, you know, showing in some of the episodes where she says, you know what, forget about the rent for like last month or this month. It's fine. But then
he's never
hey, where's my
it.
rent?
Yeah, he's never ever gonna pay it, and they're probably gonna do like a gag where it's like, hey, I'm gonna pay my rent. Like, oh god, what's wrong with you? Where's the real Gintoki? It's just like, he never pays rent. What the hell? Oh yeah, and everything else. Everything else that I like how they keep bringing back is like, you know, I cracked up when they brought back the idol girl, and I was like, oh, she's got a second season, and like, Shinpachi is still like in charge of that idol group thing.
Yeah, he's the president.
He's the president. I love that. I'm like, yes. Like, because you know, I'm all about the whole idol thing, and some of their ideologies that they talk about, I sometimes agree, sometimes don't agree, and the very fact that they all stick to that whole persona that they have of like, oh, Shinpachi's like extra thing is being the idol person, and Kagura's is always just like dicking around eating seaweed the whole time, and like Shinpachi's sister being a horrible cook, which is really sad.
Yeah, I love the character like interactions, and like how each individual one is so unique. Like Gintoki with what's his name, Hijikata.
Yeah.
The guy Zoro's a voice actor voices. Like they kind of just respect each other, you know. Like him and Shinsengumi. Like some of the Shinsengumi people kind of just say like, oh, you know, Kondo and Hijikata have a lot of respect for you. I like the dynamic between Kagura and Shinpachi's older sister, Otae.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, is it Anewe? Is that what she says? Like
Anewe, yeah.
But like she regards her as a big sister, even though Kagura is like definitely plenty stronger. But the fact that Otae like is just such a badass and like, you know, doesn't take no for an answer sort of thing, and I just love all of those character interactions. Like it's just so refreshing to see, and like just to know that like so far, 32 episodes in, all these interactions are still happening. You know, all these running gags are still happening, but I just want to know if, you know, how much the dynamic changes, how many more characters they introduce, and whether they keep those. Like they introduced kind of towards the end of this episode 32 run, what's her name with the glass, the Kunoichi with the glasses, the masochist one.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, she's appeared in a few episodes already. Like she's
Yeah,
the one that
I
likes the
love.
natto and like always like swooning over
She's
Gintoki.
so weird.
Yeah, I like her. Every time she doesn't have her glasses, it's like, oh my god, what are you doing? It's like, dude, I'm over here. All right, all
Yo,
right.
I can relate so hard.
That's literally you.
Okay, my vision isn't that bad, but I just think it's hilarious. Like, no matter what, like she'll drop her glasses, something, and then like all of a sudden, like she'll go to something random, like an enemy, the wall. She's like, hey, Gintoki, like say something to blah blah blah, like. But it's like, no, put on your glasses. We're over here.
It's almost counterintuitive too, because it's the fact that she's a pro assassin. You'd think a pro assassin would have good eyes to like
Like,
do
just
the right
be
thing
on the ready.
Yeah, have the or like she would be smart enough to like have her glasses like strapped on or have goggles or something like that to prevent from killing the wrong target kind of deal. So like I guess that thought in your head is like you're not a pro assassin anymore because your eyes are horrible. Like what do you do now?
I mean, she's still a pro. She just has bad eyes.
God. See, the thing is too, I also like how they throw other side characters in with each other. You had the gorilla dude who was like, that one day where he had like the super bad fortune and he was like literally gonna die, and they're on a car chase, and like all of a sudden like the masochist ninja girl was like lumped in with him at one point, and it's funny because you think every supporting character is always gonna appear with Gintama or Gintoki and the crew, but no, it's like all the other supporting characters always kind of like they all meet up with each other as well. So I always think that's a nice thing. It's not always about the trio.
Yeah, I think it's dope that there are some episodes that just don't focus on the main trio. Like we have all these side characters, and they're utilizing them really well. Like we get such a great episode with the side characters too. Like I can see why people like Gintama so much, but I mean, again, we're still fairly early in the series, but so far I'm enjoying it a lot. Like I'm enjoying seeing the dynamics of everyone.
Yeah, so going back to the amnesia episode, when everyone was trying to convince Gintoki to come back, which was pretty it was pretty like heart wrenching at some points, because like they all want us to like be together, but the thing that I kind of like about I really liked actually about this is these crazy coincidences that still make sense kind of thing for the whole world building, because Katsura is always the one that's like trying to rebel against his government, and they always like to hammer that stereotype throughout the entire story. Like there's samurai out there who are useless, who want to fight back against the Amanto government or the government that's like repressing us and cleanse everyone of the Amanto and the aliens. And so the fact that Gintoki ended up in yet another rebellious and another like rebellion type area, I mean, the guy was making bombs kind of deal, right? And then he's gonna use a cannon to destroy everything. And the fact that they keep making this a recurring theme is what I feel like in the future of this anime is maybe like a great big rebellion where everything's gonna like fall together. Because I know Katsura being the one that's all like, oh yeah, I'm trying to rally the troops so we could fight back against the government. That's a gag for him right now.
Yeah, I mean, you mean like when it actually gets serious?
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking forward to, because this isn't really a thing that you can't ignore. Because like the aliens and Amanto are they are dominant towards the humans kind of deal. They don't focus on it. They don't focus on it, but I feel like it's gonna play a big role in the future. Especially that you remember that one dude? Who's that freaky guy with the bandages that met Gintoki at the festival? Remember that guy? And then like Gintoki was like really aggravated. You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the guy who's only showed up like briefly a few times and he keeps getting Gintoki's name wrong? He calls him Kintoki.
Oh no, that's the ship dude. That's a spaceship dude. I'm talking about this other dude was like evil. He had bandages on his head. He had an actual sword. And
he like showed up kind of briefly.
Yeah, I feel, and like you see him in the opening, so he's probably gonna be a crucial character. Who knows? But I feel like that's gonna be the dude that's gonna like topple things over and like stir things up even harder. Because Katsura, he's stirring things up, but like very like minimally. Like he drops a bomb.
Yeah, but I also think Katsura has also been like, he hasn't been such a serious thing right now. He's definitely been more of like a companion, like an ally, and he's definitely had more running gags. Like I don't really see anything serious from him coming right now, but maybe down the line, because there is tension, like we were talking about, between the Amanto and the humans. So I don't know, maybe we'll get like another war, because I don't know, it just seems like they're leading towards another war further down the line, so it could play into that.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to, honestly. Mainly because I'm not saying I'm sick of the comedy kind of thing, because they're sprinkling enough world building in there and enough exposition for each character to have me like still learning every episode. But there are times where there are episodes where it's like it really is just one long gag, or just one long thing. Like one was it was really hot, and then Gintoki's like, I'm trying to look for the kenpuku, which is like the Japanese word for like an oscillating fan. But that same word that he kept on saying was the code word for a weapon that created money. That episode was like, it was funny for the first half, but already I kind of called it. I'm like, well, these terrorists are going crazy saying that they have this oscillating fan for Gintoki, but it was just a weapon that they wanted him to destroy, kind of deal. And like in my mind, I kind of saw that. I was like, oh yeah, Gintoki's not gonna find what he's looking for, obviously, because it's too good to be true that he's going through all this violence just to get an oscillating fan, and obviously he gets one, and it doesn't work. And so that episode, we didn't really get that much exposition from any side, if I remember correctly. It was just a one long journey to get a fan because they're too broke to afford air conditioning.
I mean, I'm kind of cool with it, honestly. Like, I like the long episodes of like a whole gag. I mean, to me, I think it's pretty ingenious, and like I think it's pretty talented to be able to write a whole episode on the same gag. Like, what was it? The episode with the hot pot that we were talking about earlier. Like the first maybe 5 minutes was just a whole like just the one shot of outside odd jobs. And I was like, holy crap, it's a whole conversation.
Yeah, that's the thing I was telling you about, like that
with just this one shot, and it's keeping me captivated. Like it's really good. And then after the opening, and then it came back to the same shot, and they're like, why are we still on this same frame? Like let's do something else. And then after that, it was the hot pot episode. Oh my god, the hot pot episode had me dying. Holy crap. Dude, the mental, that was so funny.
The mental fortitude of just like, fine, I don't want anything then. I'm just like, oh, okay, that's a good move. And it's like, no, you're shitty. You're growing. I was like, ooh, it's basically just like, like the whole mind game thing that we always like freaking Kaguya-sama. You're just like, well, anyway, that's a good move. Maybe just offer something first, or maybe just grab some first. And then the experts come in when they brought or like, no, the plot was like, wait, that wasn't beef, that was pork. And me, I'm just like, who cares? Like, I'm hungry. It's like, what?
I freaking love that. Like Kagura like just went straight for the hot pot and just like ate all of it, and then all of a sudden like, that was pork all along. Like, what? And then she kind of just like KOs for a second, and then all of a sudden it's Otose and Catherine.
Yeah,
they come in and they bring the really nice meat, and they're like, you know what, we can do this. We can get the meat now. And all of a sudden, like Otose and Catherine, they're just like, they go like super like, I don't know, like not Super Saiyan, but like they get all like scary and whatnot.
Yeah,
and,
crazy,
like they're
crazy.
serious about the beef, and like Shinpachi and Gintoki are just like, we can't get it. Like, oh
no. Dude, at the end it was kind of nasty because when Kagura sneezed on it and still ate it, I was like, oh, come on, man.
That was some 4D chess, man. Dude, Kagura's the greatest. When it comes to food, she will not lose.
God, that was a low blow even for Kagura. But I'm like, all right, fine.
That was probably one of my favorite episodes though, because like just seeing her like sneeze on it, and then like maybe it was an accident, and then Gintoki looks at her and she's like, I'm the Nabe Shogun. And like, oh my god,
dude, how dare you? 4D. Oh my gosh.
I'm really enjoying all of these like jokes and like the long, like the one episode of the entire joke. Like I want to see more of this. Like typically, like I would think like in Naruto or or One Piece even, and Bleach, like they have these episodic filler episodes where it doesn't really contribute anything. But the difference is with Gintama is that, well, it could seem like a comedic episodic episode with nothing of value to the story, but they'll sprinkle in like character dynamics, character relationships. They'll show some of Gintoki's backstory.
Right.
But just in general, like you don't really want to skip these episodes because they're just so damn funny. Like, dude, I'm enjoying the ride so far.
Dude, another episode that was great is when Shinpachi encounters his old childhood friend. And his childhood friend joined a gang, and they're like a perm hair gang.
Yeah.
And like the leader's like bald, and I was just laughing like, yes, finally we get to see some delinquent school kid gangs kind of deal. And even when when Gintoki them showed up to save them, they even took on the persona of being all the delinquents. And I just thought that was stuff like that, stereotypes like that are just super funny to me.
Did you notice that character later on? I forgot when the club comes back again. I think it's during the time the pop idol shows up again. If you see the members, you see his friend in there again.
Yeah. It's
I was
him.
like, dang, he's still part of it. That's great.
Yeah. They'll keep him there, and it's like obviously he's not with the delinquent gangs anymore, which is good. It's good that he's somewhere maybe better or worse with an idol group. I don't know, but. Like you said though, the idol episodes, right? Do you remember the episode where the idol girl was being stalked? Did you watch that one?
Yes.
So going back to like the meta jokes, right? And how they're all like, there's someone stalking her, and like they sent like a threat letter kind of deal and stuff like that, and the idol girl was like, either being stalked or all the people saw her dating another superstar, which of course in idol culture, oh, that's so bad, you're pure, whatever, and we'll get into that some other episode. But I just love how they're like, we need to look at all the people who may be linked to this. Wait, we forgot someone. It's the Darkened Man, and the Darkened Man is just the example of like a guy creepy.
They made it meta.
I know. When they said that, I was like, "You guys are stupid." It's just like, yeah.
And he was actually the culprit the whole time. Oh no, wait, was he the?
Yes,
culprit?
he was, because he was in Amanto with the skin problem
the whole time.
So I was like, this is so dumb. Like, I thought
it was great though. I think it's so funny because like there's always, like they said, there's always a Darkened Man in these like situations, and
like detective shows.
In this case, it was actually him.
Yeah, I know, you bastard. And like they did a case closed reference, which I was super happy about. I was like, yes, yeah. So I think like the mix of like having aliens or like the Amanto in there, because that's all the guy explained. He's like, I'm in Amanto with the skin thing, man. This is how I naturally look. Yeah. And like how the idol girl's like, yeah. I always noticed that there was some dark figure following me, and I'm like, oh my god.
and speaking of like Amanto, like, making things meta and actually making them Amanto. One of my favorite ones was the Kappa, like. For those who don't know what Kappa are, I feel like you should know what Kappa are at this point if you're watching anime.
They always
Kappa is like the turtle looking thing that lives in rivers, likes cucumbers and whatnot. It's like a folklore mythological type creature. I just like the explanation for what a Kappa was is in this, I guess, universe, the Gintama universe, is that it was an Amanto that fell onto Earth a long time ago, and then he tried to walk around like normally, but he couldn't, and he was just eating cucumbers a lot. So that's how the Kappa came to be. And so the Kappa the whole time is just an Amanto, and I thought that was great, like how to incorporate that with, I guess you can say Amanto, anything is an Amanto to make sense with whatever the folklore is. Like we could say whatever mythological creatures there are, what like the QB, the Ninetales, that could be an Amanto down the line. I don't know. Instead of actually being like supernatural folklore, it has a scientific explanation to it.
Aliens. You show that guy from History Channel.
Exactly.
Who are these aliens? Like, that's it.
I don't know. I just like that a lot. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the concept of anything that's unexplained or anything that's meta could just be an Amanto in the end.
Yeah, I think that's the nice factor that Gintama does when it comes to trying to explain anything. And at this point we're pretty much used to it, like, because this is a very futuristic period of all these flying ships and all that stuff. I just think I'm kind of waiting for trying to see like who are the big figures, who are the big political figures in the Yamato side that are either pulling the strings, because you had that fight tournament, that underground fight tournament thing, and then there's that one guy who's
Oh
basically
yeah.
who's like in charge of it
Yeah.
all, and you know they do the whole uh shadow going to the darkness, like, oh, okay, this was just a fun thing I was doing, I'm out of here kind of deal. And so I'm hoping we get more information on that, because
Yeah, like the political background, like because there are humans that not necessarily sided with the Yamato, but are willing to do illegal things for the sake of money. I guess for the Yamato, and I enjoyed that too. That did seem like something that could, become a big plot point down the end. So yeah, I agree.
hell yeah, man, hell yeah. And obviously I want to see more I want to see more Elizabeth. Hey, Mr. Angel, on the way for me now.
Oh my god! So transitioning into that, I wanted to talk about that. That's the second ending. Oh my god! When I first heard that, I was like, "This is really catchy. This is so wholesome. I love this
it's
ending."
It's so adorable.
Mr. Raindrop, far away from me now.
And then like, and now we're like episode like 30, 31. They changed the ending. I'm like, oh, that was quick. Like, come on.
Yeah, I thought that was quick too. I was a little sad about that. I was like, no, I was still enjoying the second ending. Like, I don't think I ever skipped the second ending, because I just really enjoyed seeing Elizabeth like skip through the rain, and just like the sound that it was giving, like it was so like wholesome.
Yeah. We need more of that.
How do you feel about the next opening? Like I think I enjoy the first opening more still.
First opening is still way better. It had a good mix of kind of like it had a better shonen feel for the first opening.
For the second opening. The first opening.
First opening has a better shonen like feel. It's kind of like, here are these characters, but let's not forget that the main character is someone that is probably dealing with something. While you have the second opening, it's just more, here's all these, it's like more slice of life-ish, because it's them like living their lives, and then we show the characters, and we show a character that maybe or maybe not be contributing to something bigger kind of deal, or like there's no really like sense of threat in like the second opening, because like in the first opening you see like Gintama or Gintoki like fighting those samurai zombies, right? And I always like to think of that as like, oh, he's fighting himself in the past kind of deal, or he's trying to like repress those dark memories kind of thing. Nothing against like the second opening though. It's just like, what we want. Our characters are still interacting with each other. But the first one, it just seemed a lot more like, yeah, this is a shonen series kind of deal. And in terms of like the endings, obviously the Raindrop opening is the best one. I kind of have started skipping the third ending. I'm just like, it's an ending.
You don't like it as much.
It doesn't stick out for me at all, and that's fine. With a series this long, we are probably at the end of this going to have a real analysis, or maybe even like a tier list of like the best openings.
I mean, when we actually get there, there's so many episodes. I was trying to like look the other day to see how many we have to watch. I think are there like over 200 episodes for this first part of Gintama, and we're only like on 32. I mean, we're making traction.
We're making traction, but it's just let's just enjoy the ride, honestly, man. Because
oh yeah, for sure. Because
a lot of people have been telling me the same thing. They're like, I'm really envious that you're starting Gintama with a fresh mind, kind of thing. Because maybe these people are still rewatching it, but I guess some people are just like, man, like the beginning of first watching it, like, just like any anime, honestly. Like, the first watch is usually always the best, and that's where you get, like, the best feelings kind of deal. Mm-hmm. Which is what I'm trying to emphasize for someone that's watching One Piece right now, because she's halfway through Water 7, and I'm just like, hurry up, why are you taking a break?
But, since we're still so early in the series, only 32 episodes in, what else are you expecting, or what else are you excited for the rest of this? Like, I mean, I feel like every podcast episode we're going to be talking about what we expect, or what we want to see, or things like that, just because we're still so early in it.
I'm still kind of waiting for the overall arcing plan, in terms of like what's the real, because there isn't really a real evil in this world when you really think about it. So far we've just encountered just what would Odd Jobs encounter, just some random crooks, some people that are terrorists, but they failed, or they're like unorganized mercenary groups kind of deal. I want to know like what the overarching enemy is. At the same time, the overarching goal. Because if you notice, with again, like the fact that this is a shonen series still kind of surprises me, because it has such a relaxed feel. You know, automatically when you start with like any shonen series, like, you know, you look at One Piece, find One Piece. You know, right off the bat, that's what they hit you with. Like, here's the goal of this journey. Naruto, Hokage. That's the goal. And then My Hero, you're gonna watch me become the greatest of all time. You know, there are a lot of other shonen series I haven't watched, but I'm under the assumption, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm under the assumption that a lot of them are really quick to tell you what the main goal of all this is. Because, you know, yeah, sure, like, you could say, like, Odd Jobs is just, they're just trying to make money and a living, you know, or they could go as far as saying, we're just trying to live, like, a simple life, you know, but I don't see much of a motivating factor that's going to push, like, the story forward. I'm not saying I need that. It's just I find it interesting that I'm watching this and I still haven't been given that piece of information yet.
I mean, I think it's, to me, I see where you're getting at, and I can, you know, understand where you're coming from. Like, with Naruto being a Hokage, we always thought that was the end goal, becoming Hokage, or at least getting accepted by the village and whatnot. In this case, you know, like you said, there isn't really like an obvious end goal. But to me, I feel like it's been sprinkling that in. Maybe the end goal, or the last part of this has something to do with the Omanto human relations. Maybe, like we talked about earlier, maybe it's building up to a war, you know, and you know, we're just unsuspecting for the most part because we're getting all of this comedy and thinking it's such a relaxed series, but at some point maybe it'll actually get really serious. Who knows? But I think I'm enjoying it so far without having to think like, okay, what is Gintoki's end goal, or what is this group's end goal? So yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but at the same time, I don't think we really need it.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a weird feeling, you know. And at the same time, I think it also spins to us kind of like, what do you want the goal of Gintama to be? Because what I want right now is I just want the full story of what happened to Gintoki. Like, all we know is that he was a former,
like, during the war.
Yeah, during the war, he served in the war with Katsura, most likely, and lost a lot of really good comrades. Maybe ended up killing people or killing Amanto that he probably didn't feel like killing, kind of deal. You know, because there's obviously something in his head that hopefully one day that we can learn and all the other characters can learn too. I'm still kind of waiting for those kind of like bro friend moments where they just sit each other down and be like, hey, like, what's really going on with you? You know what I mean? Because yeah, they bond, but I feel like a real bond is something where like you really need to reveal something that makes you feel vulnerable, and that's what I'm kind of waiting from Gintoki. Not saying he's secretive and stuff like that. It just seems that like it's not really something that
like revealing more about his own past.
Yeah. Or I don't think we've seen any situations where they ask him and he just shrugs it off. I don't remember seeing that. The only person that seems to bring up the past a lot is Katsura. Where he's like, oh, don't you remember we were working together? And then even Gintoki's like, oh, yeah, well, those days are gone. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll eventually get it, but we do get a part of Gintoki, of the current Gintoki, which is nice. You know, like him having his close relationship with Kagura and Shinpachi.
Right.
And, you know, them talking about how much they mean to each other and whatnot. So I think that's nice, too. Eventually, we'll probably definitely see, you know, his past. Like, we've gone bits of it, but like you said, I don't think we've ever really gone it to the point where Gintoki's actually like opening up himself and talking about it.
Right.
Who knows, maybe we'll never actually get that. Maybe we will still just get, you know, his past from other people.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like, other people just saying like, hey, you know about him, right? Like,
yeah, like they'll slowly, like, more characters from the war will keep showing up and reveal a bit more about who Gintoki is, and then eventually all of those characters will lead up to whatever big moment, whatever climactic moment there is.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Oh yeah, and going back to that one guy who kept on getting calling him Kin Toki, the guy with the crazy hair that drives the ships. I do want to learn
Yeah.
more about him because I feel like he's going to be a
Yeah.
big factor. The fact that he's this genius that's good at flying ships, and I don't know if he designs spaceships, but I feel like he's going to play a huge role because space travel is a common thing up there,
Mhm.
and the fact that he's a genius.
I mean,
at
I'm
it.
hoping that they actually go into space. Like, so far the whole setting has just been in Edo, Japan, but like, what if we get some of the characters, like the trio, actually in space?
They did go once, and that's where they met that guy. But that's because they won a trip, so it just shows how broke they are.
Oh, that's right.
It just means that space travels for for luxury and for rich people.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, like going up to space, we can't do that. We're broke. Will they ever make it big? Will they ever find a new establishment to run Odd Jobs again? Probably not.
Will Gintoki ever actually pay his rent?
No,
I don't know.
Like, will Shinpachi's sister ever make an omelet correctly? I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, my guy, I'm the worst at names now. I used to be so good at it. I'll just call him Zoro. My guy Zoro, who Hijikata, who knows how good freaking mayo is on everything.
Dude,
that dude.
Japanese mayo is so good, but not the way he eats it. That shit. Oh my god, that one meal that they were having, and like he gave it to Gintoki. Oh, you need to wiggle your. There he goes.
Yeah.
That one meal that they had, and then like he ordered Gintoki something, but it was just like all mayo on top. I was gonna gag, man. That's disgusting. And then he was just eating it like it was nothing. Oh my god.
And then when they went out to a diner, and like he's like, here, he's got like, here, I'll get you on this meal, and then he gets Gintoki like the same thing as him, like a katsudan bowl, but it's just like slathered in mayo. He's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Dude. Like.
He's like, no, I don't want that.
It's like, yeah, this is a normal amount. That's a normal amount. He's like, yeah.
No, keep it to yourself.
No, that's another thing I want to see more of. We've only seen that gag twice, and I want to see more of that. We need more episodes that just focus on the Shinsengumi.
One more character I want to see still that hasn't showed up is the blonde hair lady that smokes and has a scar.
Yeah,
That's
I see shots of
one
that.
character I'm still waiting for.
Everyone likes to keep talking about her when it comes to Gintama, or just like female like character leads in shonen. You know how they always like to post
Well, I mean,
those.
a lot of the female characters are good so far. I mean, Kagura is great, Otose is great. The Kunoichi girl,
She's just there.
I don't know enough about her quite yet,
Yeah.
but at least we have. Oh, and Otae. So we have like 3 great female characters so far, and because like you said, a lot of people love talking up the female characters in Gintama. So I'm excited to see.
So
more.
So what you're saying right now is that you haven't made a decision on a best girl yet.
So far I like Kagura, but I guess it's still too early to say.
Too early to say. Okay. I'd say the same for me. I'd probably say I like Shinpachi's sister just because she's cute looking. But the fact that she's a horrible cook, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, the way to my heart is my stomach, and if you can't please my stomach, you're not getting into my
I
heart.
know, man. I'm just like, I mean, I like how she's like punching the gorilla dude all the time. That's great, but the fact that she just doesn't get the hint that she's like, hey, like, you wanna? She's like smiling. She's like, oh yeah, I did a different variation of eggs. It's just black. I'm like,
it's the same.
Oh
thing.
yeah, it's the
It's
same thing. Like, come on, dude. Like, you don't want to eat it? Like, come on, read the room. They don't want to eat it because it's awful. Quit acting.
She doesn't want to accept that.
Yeah,
man.
quit acting like you're not doing terrible. But yeah, look forward to watching more. I'm not sure what the next what's the next point when we will come together again to discuss this.
Yeah. So for those listening and that have gotten to this point, we don't quite know when this whole COVID thing will clear. We're all still a bit apprehensive to leave the house, so to speak. I don't know if a lot of us are going to be getting together anytime soon, with how everything's been looking so far. So we may end up doing another podcast in this format again. Probably will. I don't know. It seems right.
Let us know if you
for the
want
time
to if you want to see more Animal Crossing content, because we're all of us except for one person's on this. I mean,
Who's the one? Orion.
No, I think Ryan's about to get it. That's what I heard. I was thinking Raymond.
Ray's kind of on it because of
Kelly. Yeah, sure. Well, but yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. Anyway, do you have any final thoughts on Gintama episodes 11 to 32?
No, I just gotta keep going. Just gotta keep it coming. This is still gonna be a thing for us.
This is still gonna be a thing. I'm enjoying it so far, so I'm
gonna
stick to
virus or not. Oh, and the last thing that I know it's like not the best subject, but speaking of the virus, I kind of chuckled to myself when I was watching the Kappa episode because remember the Kappa was being visited by a young girl.
Yeah.
They said the young girl had no friends because she had a respiratory disease and she was always alone because no one wanted to catch the disease. And I'm like, wow, Gintoki was ahead of its time. They knew she had COVID.
I actually was thinking about that during that episode. I was like,
yeah, wow, interesting. Predicted. It's like the Simpsons of anime, man. Look at this.
But stay safe, everyone. Stay home. Don't spread this shit. It's bad. We want to
wash your hands.
Be able to leave as soon as possible. Yeah, wash your hands. Stay clean. Do your part.
Yep, yeah, do your part, guys. All right, man. I'm going to go back to my island now.
All right. See y'all later. See you in the next one. Bye.